Age is just a number. I congratulated myself that I had another child. In fact, I said I had twins.
Wow. I sadly had a child last year, but I mean, he's not here now. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're seeing my face for the first time, it's me, your girl Chineze Frances, and in today's video I'm bringing you something very different. As you can see, I already have a guest and I'm going to let my guest introduce herself. So can you introduce yourself?
Okay, hello everyone. I am Ifeyiwa Odiama. I'm actually Chineze's sister.
Elder sister. Yeah, this is my elder sister. Her name is Ifeyiwa, just like she has said. And you can see she's carrying a very new baby. This baby is less than 2 weeks. It's less than a month now, yeah. So she recently gave birth and I came to do Omugo. So you're going to see my Omugo videos later, maybe before this or after this, I'm not sure, but I'm about to go and I just thought maybe I'll use this opportunity to ask her some questions and let's hear her experience at her age and when she just as at when she just gave birth. So I'm going to be asking her a couple of questions in order for us not to make the video too long. I'll just dive right in. So the first question is, how has your body adjusted to pregnancy and recovery at this age compared to when you were younger? So just before we answer this question, my sister here has her first daughter that is 7 years old, and she's going to be 7 this year. She's 6 now, and she has just had her second child now, a boy. So how has your body adjusted to pregnancy and recovery at this age compared to when you had your baby the last time?
For me, age is just a number. Your body actually adjusts according to probably your system generally. Some people have their children at 40 something and it goes very smoothly, and pregnancy just reacts differently anyway. So I'll say for me, generally, my first child and my second child, pregnancy makes me dark, have a lot of breakouts, and then after birth, gradually I come back to my normal self. So it takes a while anyway for me to come back to my normal self after the adjustments during the pregnancy.
Okay, anyway, I know that when you say normal self, pregnancy does take a toll on women.
Yeah.
And sometimes not everybody will even when you think you have recovered, it will still take you even, let's say, 4 or 5 years to even recover fully from that pregnancy change that your body has gone through. You might not necessarily feel it or see it, but the truth of the matter is pregnancy takes a toll on women, and it takes a longer time before everything in your system will fully go back to normal. So yeah, some people can adjust quickly, but that internal change is still there and it will take a longer time. So yeah, I agree that everybody is different. Okay. Our second question, which is somehow relating to what you just said, but is, how are you managing your physical energy and rest with a newborn now?
How am I?
How are you managing your energy, your physical energy?
So relating to me personally, it's easier when you have a help. Like, back in Nigeria, Momsi is around, you probably have a house help. So you can actually manage that physical energy. Yes, but in this part of the world where you know that help can just come momentarily, like you just came and you're just spending 1 week with us. In all honesty, I had prepared my mind during the pregnancy that
Can you imagine?
I just have to be physically strong.
Yeah.
In fact, first mentally strong, and
yeah.
then physically strong. Because if you're not mentally strong, you will break down emotionally, and then you won't want to get into postnatal depression. So you just have to encourage yourself to face your reality. Yes. So part of what I actually prayed for when I was still pregnant was that I have a smooth delivery so that my healing process will be faster, and so I can have that physical strength. Because if you don't have a smooth delivery, by the time you do, maybe you go through a cesarean section, it takes a while to heal. They will tell you not to do any strenuous thing or carry anything. When you know that you don't have that help,
Help,
what can you do?
exactly.
So you just walk towards, or anyways, in God's hands, or because people that went through cesarean or people that had cuts,
It's
maybe
harder.
third degree or fourth degree cuts when they were giving birth. It wasn't their fault anyway, it was the way it happened. But I just had to work on my mind to tell myself that you know your reality, so be
Mm.
ready to face it. So
Mm.
you don't stay and wish for wish for wish for things that may
Yeah,
never
that will
come
not
through.
happen. Yeah, I think
So that's it.
I get that. When I had my daughter a few years ago, it was it was a struggle. I won't lie, because my mom was it around for Omugo. But that first night, it was really difficult. Though I had my sister-in-laws, they came in occasionally and all that. But at some point, because of where you find yourself, you just have to quickly adjust, and yeah, life goes on. When help comes, you grab it. If you don't have the help, just pray to get that internal strength, that mental
Yeah,
strength, that
strength
you need
comes from within.
to keep going, and from God as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so our third question is: did you experience any unique health concerns during pregnancy or delivery because of your age?
Okay, so like I said, I don't think it has to do with age anyway. People that are younger also have some pregnancy issues. People that are older do too. Some people that are older have a smooth pregnancy. So I don't think it has to do with age. While I was pregnant for my first child, I still had high blood pressure,
Mhm.
which led to me being induced at
Okay.
40 weeks.
Okay.
So
40 weeks. That was
because
okay
yeah,
now.
that
She
was
was
just so
already due.
but the thing is at 40 weeks there was no signs of um there was
Her
no
coming, no
signs of
contraction, and okay,
contraction or labor.
okay.
And so when I went for antenatal, my doctor was like, there's no need allowing you go back to wait since you're at 40 weeks and you're
Okay.
already being hypertensive. It's just better we induce you and see if you can go into contraction and bring forth your baby. And
Okay.
then it went well. And so now the same blood pressure issue, which had happened then,
Okay.
came back again. And then unfortunately, it started at 35 weeks. And then from there, I became preeclampsia.
High risk of
Yeah,
preeclampsia.
I know
Okay.
the
Okay, you
preeclampsia
had
was
break.
there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I was a preeclampsia patient, and so he was advised that instead of keeping me, because I think it was becoming bad
Mm.
much more than it was the first time, and so they were like, "There's no need allowing you wait till the 40th week. When your baby is full term, you can be induced again, and full term is 37 weeks,
Okay.
coupled with some other health issues that came into
Do
play.
you want to talk about them?
Um,
I mean, anyway.
okay, so everything anyway was a factor of the preeclampsia because normally people have malaria and malaria react differently.
Mm.
People have typhoid and typhoid reacts differently.
Mhm.
So it was um it was noticed that my baby wasn't adding weight, he was rather losing weight
Okay.
after a 2 weeks scan. And so it was advised that it's not your fault. Just um, push through, let the baby come out, and you begin to recover, and the baby is also fine. Instead of trying to manage it until the 40th week, 40th week, and then okay, in between the management, I had the Bell's palsy,
Okay.
which I don't know or I can't say is related to the preeclampsia. I wouldn't say that because all the tests they did showed I was fine. I want to assume it's the pregnancy hormones reacting to our body differently.
Okay.
That's just what I would say. I don't think it has to do with the preeclampsia too. And so I was placed on steroids, which was also going to affect the baby's weight.
So
So there was a lot of things
decrease the
now
weight as
affects
well.
the baby. Yes,
Okay.
decreasing. So I just had to be induced
Yeah, the
and I
baby.
had the baby at 37 weeks. So I really don't think it has to do with age. I'm still 39. I'll be 40 in October. So I really don't think it has to do with age anyway. I just feel women react
Very
differently
different.
to pregnancy. That's just what I think.
Okay. So my sister mentioned Bell's palsy. She said she had Bell's palsy while she was pregnant. Um, I know one of the things I had while I was pregnant was heart problem. I won't start talking about it now, but just as regards to what she said she had Bell's palsy. It's when one of your face drops down, and you might not necessarily notice it now because it's already clearing. Few weeks ago, when I was speaking to her before I came, that was even before she gave birth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, before she gave birth, she had her one side of her face drop, so the
You call
nerves
it drop. It was paralyzed.
well paralyzed, so the nerves were not function, yeah,
Responding.
they weren't responding, so she couldn't blink with one side of her face, she couldn't eat, she couldn't drink water with one side of her face. So you might just want to research on that, but as you can see, it's already getting better. She's taking some supplements, which is also helping her. But yeah, other than that, baby's fine. She's fine too. So next question. So the next question, which is question number 4, is how are you prioritizing your health while caring for your baby?
Yeah. So anyway, everything has to be, you have to be intentional about your
That's very
life.
true.
That's
Hmm.
the main thing. You really have to be intentional, and you have to plan to accommodate everything that has to be accommodated. Yes, so I have to be strong to take care of the child, even from a baby to being a toddler to being a teenager and an adult. So I should be able to put everything that I have to do in place. So I'm still taking my medications, and then yeah, take care of myself as much as I should, eat right,
Exactly.
take my medications, drink water a lot, and then take care of the baby too. What
Well,
much does the baby? The baby needs just to breastfeed, and as long as you eat right, he'll breastfeed, and then be there for him. That's just what he needs. Doesn't need so much at the time.
well, so far you've been talking about how you are caring for the baby, if I understand, but that's fine because as women, especially in this part of the world, we have a lot of things on our plate. Caring for yourself after giving birth, for the baby, you already have a child, you have to care for your child, for the home, your husband, everything has to come into play. But being intentional about caring for yourself, because if you are not, if you are not standing well, you will not be able to extend that care to other people. So, anyway, this is just like me saying we need to be intentional about taking care of ourselves. Obviously, she said eating right and all the
Taking your
good stuff. Yeah,
medications,
taking your
being
medications as
happy as
well.
much as doing what makes you happy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, as much as you can, try and be intentional about taking care of yourself so that you'll be able to care for the people around you, baby, daughter, husband, home, yeah. So our next question, which is question number 5, what's your biggest emotional difference becoming a mom at 40? I know you said you're not 40 yet, but you're going to be 40 this year and you had the baby this year, so you're not going to have two babies the same year. Do you understand what I mean?
Hmm.
So, what's been the biggest emotional difference being a mom at 40 years old versus earlier when you had your daughter?
Okay. Emotional difference. Anyway, I think what's the part of the emotional difference in quotes is that okay, let's say 5 years ago, yeah, my daughter is 6. So 5 years ago, I wrote myself a letter at 40. I have that letter in my Google
Wow,
Drive.
that's
Yes,
interesting.
yes. So I wrote myself a congratulation letter at
Wow.
40,
Hmm.
telling myself, "Oh, congrats to you! You've done this. You've done this." And so in that letter, I actually congratulated myself that I had another child. In fact, I said I had twins.
Wow.
And then in that letter, I congratulated myself for having an international master's as well. And
Hmm.
funny enough, at the time, I didn't even know how it was going to happen. But I met somebody that we got talking, and she told me to write myself a letter, a 5 years time letter. And I just wrote a letter. You know how you just write a letter like, this is what I desire. Or maybe I don't know how it will happen, but
Mm.
this is what I desire. And then I wrote that letter. So the emotional difference for me is that in the fifth year, I look back and I see that most of the things I had written in that letter has actually come through.
Wow.
So that's it's the excitement for me. Maybe if I had not written that letter, it would have just been something normal, like oh you desired another child and the
And it
child is
happened.
here. So but because I look back at that letter, I am
Mm.
happier that oh the things I wrote have actually come
Happened
through.
too. Okay, that's interesting because I know I remember in my previous videos, I'm not sure which one now, I talked about writing down what we wanted for the new year. And when we read out what we wrote, we actually actualized some of those things that we wrote down. So hearing her say that she wrote a letter 5 years ago, and the result of that letter is becoming realistic now, 5 years later, it's kind of, if you want something, write it down
Yeah,
and it
put
will
it
happen.
down.
I mean, it's in the Bible anyway. Please pardon me, I don't know the verse in the Bible, but I know it's in the Bible. Anything you want, you can write it down and to become, and it will come to pass. Let me put it that way. But yeah, so obviously because you wrote it down, you are happier now that a few years
The
ago you
things you
you
I looked
wanted
forward
something
to
and
have
it's
actually
happening.
come.
Exactly. A master's, yes, she just graduated this year in one of the universities here in the UK, and she has her baby now. I mean, it's not twins, but at least she wrote it down. She didn't get the full package. I mean, this is even more full package
But yeah,
than,
yeah, so the
because
thing about the twins,
exactly, if you
when I
have
went for
twins.
scan and then I was told it's a single thing,
Mm.
anyway, my relationship with the Holy Spirit, let me put it that way. So it just dropped in my spirit that you think you can go through carrying two
Carrying twins
alone, yeah, carrying two,
at
you
once.
might not go through it, just
Yeah.
go with this one. And I
Mm.
had peace,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Of
understand?
course.
So there's
Of
nothing
course.
like having peace when you desire something and it comes through. It
Mm.
might not come exactly as
How
you
you
desired
wanted it
it,
exactly.
but at the end of the day, what we want is the will of God.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Mm-hmm.
it.
That's very true. That's very true. So question number 6 is: do you feel more prepared and confident, or more cautious this time
As regards,
to your baby now? So do you think when you had your first child, obviously first child, first time mom, do you think you were more prepared this time? I know my sister is I know she's the kind of person that would want to take her time to prepare, ahead of time. But obviously, having a second child now, being in the UK, when you had your first child, you were in Nigeria. So being in the UK, do you think you were more prepared now, for
um,
everything that happened, even giving birth, even taking care of a child, do you think you're more prepared and confident as a mom now?
than then,
Yeah.
anyway, I would not say I'm more prepared. So having my first child at 33, it wasn't like it was too early. So I was prepared, and even now,
Yeah,
I'm
prepared as well.
also prepared. Yes, I'm
Okay.
also prepared. So something that you've actually desired, you probably
Of course.
want to research, read, and
Yeah.
all that. And then pregnancy takes 9 months.
Mm.
So through the 9 months, you're also researching,
Mm.
preparing yourself, preparing your mind ahead of what will come to you. But the good thing for me here is that, not like I planned it anyway, the good thing is that I had worked a while to be able to earn the SMP here in the UK. So that has served as an encouragement to me this period. It would have been very depressing if I had to stay this period without having
Any.
access to any sort of funds.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's actually interesting that I was able to work for a period to enable me in the SMP. And so, as I'm going through the maternity period, I have access to something to support myself. It makes it easier, and that's where the system is better anyway.
That's very
Yeah.
true. Okay, so I understand what you're saying. Even the fact that a few years ago you wrote yourself a letter about what you wanted, it's kind of put you in that stead where you are planning and actively working towards those things you wrote down anyway. So it's okay to actually say I'm prepared. I was prepared. I'm more confident because what you wrote, you didn't just sit down and was expecting it to come. Is that what happened? Like even your masters, you were trying to
Mm,
actively looking for maybe opportunities to
yeah.
come. Even planning for a baby, you won't just sit down and expect it to come. You have to do
Definitely,
the
you
work
make plans now.
exactly because you've written it down. So this is just like throwing the spanner in the works. So you are working towards getting what you want to achieve in the long run. Yeah. So my next question.
Mm.
Okay, so we're going to ask two more questions, and then we can end the video so that it doesn't get too long. So the next question is, what have you learned about patience, motherhood, and yourself this time around?
What have I learned about patience, motherhood, and myself? Anyway, in all, I just see that being very intentional, being mindful,
Mm-hmm.
being self-aware is very important. Patience, yes, because you have to be patient to bring up children rightly. If you're not patient, you tend to lose them in the long run. Yes, I've learned to be mindful in all. In fact, the biggest of all is I've learned more to love myself,
Yeah.
pay more attention to myself. Honestly, nobody would really care for you as much as you care for yourself. The words that will get to you should be the words you say to yourself and not what somebody else says to you. Because
Okay.
if you allow the things people say to you to get to you, they will definitely weigh you down. So these are the things that I've actually learned, and it's helping me become stronger mentally and emotionally. That's it.
Okay. We're going to ask one final question, and we'll call it a day on this video. So the last question is, what's one piece of advice you would give to other women becoming moms at this age?
Yeah, so I just think I would say first of all, pay attention to yourself. Try to love yourself, care for yourself. Caring for yourself has to do with everything about you, your weight, your skin. Just care for yourself as much as you can. Pay attention to yourself. It's very important. If you're able to pay attention to yourself, you're able to take note of changes in your system as they come. Being a mother takes a lot from a woman, but
Mm-hmm.
it's easier when you actually pay attention to yourself. You're able to take note of those changes as they come, as much as you can. Exercise,
Mm-hmm.
eat right, take the normal the required supplements that you need to take to help you live a good life. Honestly, you have to be strong to take care of your children.
Yeah,
If you're
very
not
good.
strong and healthy, you can't take care of them. So, in quotes, paying attention to self as you grow older. As you grow older, there are things you should be able to, there are lifestyle changes you should be able to adopt to help you feel better and younger, actually. So, that's what I will say.
Okay, so one final question. Actually, we should somehow bring this in. Obviously, you have a 6-year-old to be 7, and she's a big sister. How has she taken being a big sister so far to new baby?
Okay, so we're just 2 weeks plus.
Mm,
It wasn't easy the first when we came back from the hospital because normally for 6 years it's always been her. Yeah, but you just as the mother need to give her that reassurance.
yeah.
You just you should just have to be reassuring her, and which I even started, which is even better you start doing right from
No
when the
time.
child is in the womb,
Mm-hmm.
letting her know that this is her sibling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's coming to be with her. So, but definitely when the baby comes, when you just have to pay more attention to the baby, there'll be a lot of drama. But that's where
Okay,
that patience still comes in
of
to let
course.
her know that yes, he's not taking your space. You're going to love both of them equally, care for them equally too. But this baby is still tender, he needs more attention. So she just has to understand. And I'm sure by the time you keep reassuring her with time, she has understood. And
Okay.
so we're doing well now.
Yeah, that's very good. So we're going to come to an end in this video, but I'm going to put my sister on the spot now, and I'm going to ask her to ask me just one question before we end this video. But just in case you've come to this part of the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, comment if you are at this age. You want to share your experience as a 40-year-old mom or a new mom, or if you've had it, if you've had kids before. Don't share your experience down in the comment section. Let's just interact, and don't forget to subscribe. So I'm going to put my sister in the spot now so that she can ask me one final question and we'll come to an end.
Funny enough, I don't still have any question in mind.
So,
Okay, so you also have one child at the moment. So what are your plans? Do you intend to have another child anytime soon?
that's an interesting question, isn't it? Well, it's a bit tricky from my own end. Obviously, you all know how things are. When I say you all know how things are, you've seen my previous videos and I've talked about my health and all that. I sadly had a child last year, but I mean he's not here now, which is a different story. I'm not ready to talk about yet. But yeah, if I'm planning for another child, I can't answer that question now, to be honest. I'd rather say everything is in God's hands. I'm paying attention now to myself.
Yeah, which is important.
Most importantly, yeah, I'm paying attention to myself, and I feel like when I'm in that headspace where I want to start thinking about it or talking about it, yeah, it's going to happen when the time is right. Well, other than that, yeah, I'm just taking care of myself now.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Self-care and self-awareness is very important. At the end of the day, if you're not aware of yourself, if you don't care for yourself, you might not be emotionally stable to care for your children.
Yeah.
And we don't know, as parents, at times we react to our children based on our childhood traumas and what we're going through. So self-care, self-awareness is very, very important as a parent. I think it has to be overemphasized. A lot of children are reacting based on how their parents have brought them up. From that point of not being really self-aware, being emotionally stable, they are reacting based on their traumatized experience as children and growing up. So we need to be self-aware, particularly as parents, like I keep saying, healing from our past and bringing up our children in a very neutral and conducive environment for them to gain mental stability as well. Yeah, and emotional stability too. So it's fine. And you can always take your time. No time is late.
No time. Well, I mean,
age is just a number.
We are all growing older. That's a constant change, that we all grow older, and the older you get, the riskier, the trickier it becomes. But nonetheless, you still have to take care of yourself in order to make that space, because your body as well, it's supposed to be a very conducive space to be able to create another human being. And I mean, it's not an easy journey. But other than that, at the end of the day, we give God the glory and we say, let his will be done. Yeah.
So while I was pregnant, I actually went to the hospital one day and I met a lady that's 47.
Wow.
She's had a daughter that is 12 or 16, I can't remember. And she told me it's like she's carrying twins. So
she was pregnant, obviously.
Yeah, she's 47 and she was pregnant. So honestly, age is a number. Your body reacts to you.
So the way you think about it.
The way you take care of your body.
Yeah.
The way you take care of your body. Honestly, there are people that are 35 and they are looking 40 something, and there are people that are 40 something and they are looking 20. 35.
Yeah.
So your body is a result of how you take care of it. So if you take care of yourself well, for me, age is really a number. I saw that lady, she was 40. She told me she was 47. I was surprised even when she was to get her medications. She gave the pharmacist her date of birth and I confirmed her age. And she was happy carrying her pregnancy.
Mm-mm.
So age is just a number actually. Take care of yourself and you will reap the benefits of a
Okay.
well taken a well groomed body.
Yeah.
Honestly, well groomed body. Eat right. Don't be gluttony. Eat right. Less sugar
Mm.
and
More
less
vegetables.
more vegetables, less monosodium glycomate.
Gla-
That's the
okay.
Maggie. Yes, and exercise. Exercise doesn't have to be strenuous. If you can take a walk, um, just take care of your body. It's
Mm.
important. It's very important. Use the right skincare products, not the ones that will wear your skin out.
Yeah.
You understand? It's very, very important. So that's it for me.
Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for sticking with us. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for getting on to this point. If you've come to this part of the video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment in the comment section. And until next time, do you have anything to?
No, nothing.
All
Thank you
right,
for having
all right.
me.
Tell my subscribers to subscribe and
Yeah, please kindly subscribe to our channel. Help us grow.
thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, thank you. See you
Bye
next time.
bye.
Bye.